Hi everyone, my name is Uthman from NWC Education, and today I have some of our students online that will be having this training interview with for P.hD program, MRES, and an MPHIL program. So in case you are just joining us and you have intention to study in the UK, and of course you'll be mandated to undergo an interview before an admission is granted, and at the same time, whether an MSc or PhD program, an interview is necessary through during the process. And this training is all about informing you the likely question and answering them so you can all pass your interview. So you can as well just share this live session to whosoever that might need it. Of course, you can keep it on your page, should in case you want to make reference to it in the nearest future. So good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, Bolanle. Good afternoon, Mr. Noor Ibrahim. Good afternoon, Modupe, Stephen, Mr. Michael, Sheyi Victoria, and Omotola. You're all welcome to this live session. And so some of you in the studio, those I just mentioned their names, they will be able to ask direct question, should in case their network is strong. You can unmute your mic and ask question. And for those who are unable to join us in the studio, it means you will have to type in your question through the comment section as you watch. Then I will read them and answer your question. So today, if you have applied for an MS program or a PhD program in any school in the UK, whether University of Bolton, whether University of Lincoln, GCU, University of Hertfordshire, or any other university you might have applied seeking a PhD admission or seeking an MS admission program into the school for September or January 2025, it means you will, at a point, be asked to attend an interview. So what does the interview entails? The first thing is I need to just tell you some basic etiquette of an interview when you want to have an online interview. The first thing is you need to get a good device, like whether you're going to use your phone, you need to be sure that the network is strong enough to attend an interview uninterrupted. And if you're going to use a laptop, ensure it's fully charged for your phone or your laptop, and at the same time it's connected to an internet. Just as I'm here, you feel like I'm here alone, so you should also be alone in whatsoever way, in any way you want to have your interview. It means nobody should be walking around or sitting around talking to you while you're having your interview. And another thing that is very important is since it's going to be a video call, then it means you have to maintain eye contact with your lens while talking to your interviewer. So it's not allowed for you to be looking at somewhere else like this or checking something or losing attention while you are have an interview going on. So you have to ensure that you did not write anything or jot anything down or in the paper that you have to read out. Everything that will come through you to them should be what is actually coming from your mind and as a proof that you know. And what is the reason why they might want to interview you for because you're applying for a PhD or because you're applying for an MRES program? Unlike the TOTS program, most people have gone to the UK without an interview in the past, and what it means is because they apply for a TOTS program. But you are going for a research-based program. A research-based program is unlike TOTS program where you sit in the class and the lecturer comes around to tell you everything you are supposed to know, and at the same time they are going to test you with assessment or an exam. In this case, it's just going to be a research program. So when you're going for a research program, the university want to be sure that you have that capacity and you have that mental strength to even go to a research program. They want to know if you can, of course, undergo a research program. So not everybody is fit into completing a research program. So they want to know your fundamental knowledge about research, whether you even know what you are going into in the first place. So the major advantage of going for any of these, whether MRES, a PhD program, or an MPhil program this time around, is because of opportunity to go with dependent. And at the same time, it's entirely different because some of you, when you go for an MRES program, it means you have opportunity to do your PhD, and or you go for an MPhil program, the same. And some people might want to go for a research-based program. There's some job that even if you have a master's, and if the master's is not a research-based, probably you might not be fit in for that job because they just want a research. You're having a research master's program not because you want to go with a pen down, not because you want to do a PhD program, but because you have a job that requires that your master should be a research-based one, not a thoughts program. There are a lot of research institutes that will appreciate that. And what they want is someone who have carried out a research before in a recognized institution like your university, the result is issued. So that is why your program is very important beyond going with maybe family to the UK. So what are the likely questions? I've given you the etiquette. And one of the questions, of course, that anybody will ask you that is meeting for the first time is, can you introduce yourself to me? Can you introduce yourself to me? So I would like to know among us, those of us who are in the studio right now, if there's anyone that can introduce yourself. Let's start from there. So they're online among Bolanley, Mr. Michael, Stephen, Stephanie, Noor Ibrahim, Nike, Victoria, Omotola. Is there anyone among you that want to try? Can you give it a try? Can you introduce yourself? Can you unmute your mic and talk? Let me see.
Good morning, good afternoon, rather.
Yeah, good afternoon, Modupe. Can you introduce yourself? Thank you.
Okay, so my name is Modupe Edith Yaku.
All right, Modupe. So what I mean is, when I mean introduce yourself, so I mean for the training. So let's assume I am your interviewer now. You are a student and I want you to introduce yourself. You applied for a
Sorry,
course
can I
for
try?
an MSI. Yeah,
Sorry, can I
you
try?
try to. You also give a try, but let me conclude with Modupe. So Modupe, now you have applied for a program. We'll review your application. We see that you qualified. I want to give you conditional offer or an unconditional offer. And now I am asking for your introduction. So Modupe, good morning. Can you please introduce yourself?
Okay, so good morning. As I said, my name is Modupe Edith Yaku. I'm a citizen of Nigeria and I am applying to your great university to study MRES in supply chain and logistics management. So what else?
Hello, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear
Yes,
me
I
now?
can hear you. Let somebody else try, please. I can hear you.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Thank you for the attempt. A minute. Excuse me.
Can I try? Hello?
Try.
Can you try now? Can you give it a try?
Okay. Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Oladu Victoria. I'm coming from Oyo State, Nigeria. I've applied for MRES in Hello, can I try?
Yes, please.
Okay. My name is Stephanie.
You
Okay,
can try.
Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Umi Stephanie Eneche.
I studied geography from University of Maiduguri, and I graduated in 2010. And I'm a very passionate person, and I'm someone that I have in whatsoever I put my mind to do. I am a go-getter, and and I'm a go-getter, and I'm very, 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 very career. I'm a very career person. I'm very optimistic, and when I want something, I go for it. And I have experience in. I have experience in. I've worked in so many places, and my last job, I think, which was an administrative job, has given me a wide knowledge of what I'm going for, and which has really helped me careerly. And I think I'm good, and with my geography background, which will really help me with this course, because I already have a background in this course, which will really help me in this MRES, environmental management. And it will really help me because I already have a career built up on geography, and geography has already fundamental background, which will really help me in MSc environmental management. And I think if they will be given the opportunity to kind of study this and be given the opportunity, I think I will bring my best expertise to this. And I think I'm someone that love working with a team, and I can also work on myself and to bring out the best and to do what I can do. That is what. Sorry, I don't know.
Oh, all right. Stephanie, thank you very much for that. That is impressive. That's impressive and great. It's a good attempt. Anyway,
Can I try?
the first time I'll be giving someone a reasonable mark for an interview. You really try. Yes, you can try it too now.
Okay. Good afternoon.
Yes, you can give it a try.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, my name is Nuhu Ibrahim.
Good afternoon, sir.
My name is Nuhu Ibrahim.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, a graduate of physics.
Nice to have you.
A graduate of physics from University of Jos. Of course, physics is a course that involves nature activities, and currently I'm selling and at the same time into supply chain management. I currently work with a telecommunication company where I had where my job description entails where I'm currently a specialist in supply chain management, and I'm putting in for MRES supply chain management in so and so university. So I believe this very course will help my career, my chosen career path, elaborate, give me the opportunity to know or get more exposure internationally with the chosen career. And it's something I've longed for a long time, right from when I was growing. It fascinates me to see how goods are moved from one place to the other. And having been involved in it currently made me to understand that supply chain management goes beyond moving of goods from one place to the other. So this very course will equally expound my knowledge in the field and possibly propel my career in the current company I'm working in.
All right.
Thank
so that's great. That's great. Thank you, Mr. Ibrahim. Your attempt is also very good. In fact, I'm getting very positive response from students who have joined us from the studio. I know for some of you who are just watching us, you probably want to attempt this too, but the opportunity is only available to those who are in the studio currently. So thank you so much for that response. So if you are in the studio and you are not ready to talk, I will always appreciate you mute your mic so that you can enjoy this training. So for the two people that have responded, I think I got a lot of ingredients that is supposed to be in the response for, can you please introduce yourself? So if you are meant to introduce yourself, if you have applied for a PhD program or an MRES or an MPhil program, what the interviewer wants you to do, it's not just for you to say your name, like, oh, my name is Uthman Said, or maybe you added another line from Nigeria. It's more than that. So the first thing you are meant to do is to say your name as usual. My name is Uthman Said from Nigeria, and I am a graduate of accounting from University of Ilorin. I currently work with KPMG in Lagos, where I serve as an internal control auditor. I have worked with them for the past 5 years. PhD in accounting at University of Bolton. Okay, sorry for the network. So as I was saying, um, I'm currently applying for a PhD program at University of Bolton as an executive, as a staff of KPMG, and as an internal auditor control. I understand that applying for this program is very important and it's going to be essential to my performance in carrying out an adequate research by the time I complete this my company. So the major thing that you need to tell them are your name, you are from, the course of study, that's the course you studied before, and you are a graduate with. Then next should be the course you are applying for in their own university. So if you're applying for any course, you tell them, okay, I'm going to apply to study so course in your school. Then after then you tell them your work experience. I've worked with KPMG for 5 years as an internal control auditor, as a personnel manager. I've worked with Gecko Hospital for the past 10 years as a medical doctor. And I've worked with so lab as a laboratory supervisor for the last so years. So you are telling them who you are directly where they ask you to introduce yourself. So that's very straight. And so you tell them about the program, your work experience. Then they might want to know how this program is going to help you. So maybe I've worked with this company, and I believe going into an MS program, especially in accounting, will enhance my research ability. So one thing you need to know is, for anybody going for an MS program, you just want to increase your research ability. You want to find out new things that you probably might not know about before. So if you are going to increase your research ability, or you want to find out new things, or you have a specific area of interest that you would like to do research on and confirm if that is valid or not, you just need to go through research work. But that is primarily about the first question that is asking you to introduce yourself. So the next question will be, why answer the first question? You've already mentioned the course you applied to. So now do I ask, why do you choose the course? Why do you choose the course you want to study? So in my own case now, I have applied for a PhD in accounting. I think Stephanie has applied for something on environmental management. So whatever you're applying to, you need to be able to justify why you are applying for that course. You're not applying for that course because you'll be able to go with your family members to the UK. Of course, there should be something tangible attached to the reason why you want to pay such amount of money to study the course. So, if I may ask, any of you have applied and you are currently in the studio, because I want this to be as interactive as possible, can you tell me why you have applied for a particular course? Who wants to try it out? Who wants to try? Let me know who wants to try, why you've applied for a course. Let me know if you want to try
Good
why
afternoon.
you've applied. Yes, good afternoon. Who is talking?
Good
Hello,
afternoon.
Michael.
All right, Mr. Michael. Okay, Mr. Michael, can you please try?
Okay, I applied for. I have applied for the MS research program in strategy and leadership because of my involvement in student-based organization over the years. Having been a member of an Actus Y as an undergraduate, upon my graduation, I went ahead to found a chapter of the same Enactus in Covenant University. I am the head of the community engagement and project development for the students. Having done that, I also interview leader for WEDU, a global education, a global NGO that encourages women in the Asia continent. And currently, I run a startup in test technology and devices. So I have applied for this program to deepen my knowledge in leadership and strategy, as it will help me in my career progression in the future. Having not having have a background in management, which I did in my undergraduate. So I believe getting the MS research in strategy and management will help me to deepen my impact, to help me in my career progression, and help me achieve my set out goals. Thank you.
All right, that's fine. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. If we want to give response to some of the question on why we are applying for a course, so it has to be from ourselves, like from our experience. We just got to know that yes, we need to do this research. We need to learn this. Just more or less like someone who wants to be a medical doctor now. They ask, why do you want to study medicine? Of course, I believe by undergoing this program, I'll be able to administer drugs to patients who are sick. In fact, first thing I'll need to diagnose them. I'll be able to diagnose. I'll be able to administer drugs. I'll be able to perform surgery. I'll be able to counsel. I'll be able to advise. So there are some of the skills that someone who have undergone a training for like 7 or 6 years to become a medical doctor will have. So the same thing with you. You have this intention to go for a study. What do you want to gain after undergoing that study? And that's what they're asking you, why do you want to? You're buying a car, then you'll be able to tell them why you want to buy the car. What's the reason why you're buying this car? What's the reason why you're paying this much? After all, this money you're going to pay at the end of your master program is even far more than what you can use to buy a single car. Sometimes if you're not going for a extreme luxury car. So meaning that you're paying this money and they want to see that you have value for your money. You already set a target for your money. That if I'm spending this, I should be able to learn this from you. So why you want to study a course should be because you want to learn some set skills if you are going for a TOS program. But if you are going for an MRES program, it means you want to research. You want to find out a research about a particular thing and get to know whether it's work or not, or you want to know how it works. So why are you going for this course? Because I want to find out. I've been in human resources. I've worked as a human resource personnel for the past 5 years, and I want to go for MRES program in human resource management because I want to find out if salary increments or commission increments or allowances can improve employee performance. So it's a researchable topic. Just want to find out that, okay, by continuing to increase personnel allowances, maybe it has a direct proportion to increasing employee performance. You know, as a human resource person who wants to progress on that field, who wants to become maybe a consultant or something in human resource management, you might want to carry out that kind of research to even know if that I'm going to advise my own company or I'm going to adopt it to my company, or I'm going to advise a client whether to continue to increase employee allowances to improve performance, or there are other means through which employee performance can be increased even without increasing the allowances. So if you are a science-based something, you can say, okay, you want to research on maybe global warming. You want to know whether the use of charcoal or the use of firewood have any impact on our environment, and maybe contribute to the global warming situation we are currently in now. So you just need to attach the reason why you're studying that course. I mean, with that course, you need to be able to explain what you are going to find out by the time you complete the course. Or sometimes I say, okay, I want to study the course so that you can become a full-time researcher that will be able to find out some stuff in different fields. Because you want to keep yourself with researchable skills that that will be marketable. You want to be able to use all the statistical skills to analyze research data, to collect and analyze research data. So that is why do you want to study the course? They're asking why you want to study the course because in your own introduction, you've already told them the course you want to study that you are applying for in their school. So another question they will now ask you is why, which is the third one, is why do you choose our school? Of course, we know you want to study human resource, masters in human resources. And we now understand why you want to study that course, or you want to find out employee reactions to salary and increment. And now, why are you coming to GCU? Why are you coming to Birmingham, the University of Birmingham? Why don't you go to maybe Lincoln? Why are you not going to Bangor University? Why are you coming to our school? Can you justify why you are coming to our school? We're not the only one offering that course. So please, in case you are just joining us, what we are doing today is training for people who have applied for a PhD, an MPHIL, or an MRES program to study in the UK. So, and this is necessary because all of them will be made to face a panel of an interviewer for them to be able to scale through to securing either conditional or an unconditional admission. So it becomes necessary to treat the necessary questions and at the same time give possible response to all of them. So why do you choose our school should be the next question. So if you are interested in making attempts, please do let me know. Why do you choose a school you currently apply to in the UK? Why? Who wants to attempt that? Who wants to make an attempt in this? Why do you choose your school? That school that you've told your consultant to apply for. So why do you choose that school? Do
Can
you
you
know
hear me,
why?
please?
Can you tell me? Yes, I can
Hello,
hear you now.
Amotola. All right. So I am interested in the university because it has a comprehensive curriculum and interdisciplinary approach. I am particularly excited about the program because of its integrating scientific knowledge with policy development, its research management and sustainable practices, modules such as environmental policy analysis, ecosystem management, and climate change align perfectly with my academic interests and aspirations.
Wow,
Also,
that's okay.
let me just pause. I'm good.
Wow, so that's cool. As in, that is perfect and excellent. That's very cool.
Thank you.
I like the fact that most of the reasons she gave align with are very relevant to our own line of study. They are very close to her. So when you give that, the school they will just get to know that you've make some research before you make an attempt to apply to their school, meaning that you know what the school got to offer. Any, can you mute your mic? Someone is somewhere. Let me see who is not muting the mic. Maybe Brian. So The school will appreciate the fact that this person knows what she wants and she knows why she wants it. So in this case, when you are asked, why do you choose this school? If you type the name of the school on Google, maybe why University of Bolton, why University of Hertfordshire, why University of West England, just type it, then you will see them. The only thing she missed some two key important things. Number one is when school is asking you to tell them why you chose them. Never you forget to hype them. Never you forget to remind them of their ranking. So you need to be specific in ranking, specific with the statistic. Okay, University of Bolton is ranked by Time Higher University in year 2025 or 2024 as this. University of Bolton is also ranked as number third, whatever university by The Guardian. And they also won the award of this. So that makes them to be, wow, this person is only interested in us, he has researched us. Be specific about what ranking and who ranked them and which year. So no matter how much you've researched about some other stuff, the ranking is very important and it shouldn't be the first. Because regardless, you want to go to a university that is highly recognized and well ranked. So you need to make mention of it. So but before you start talking about the equipment they got, the kind of professional they got that will enhance your learning ability, the kind of discipline, the kind of maybe a lecturer, or let me say the university and student relationship, maybe the opportunity for international students. Before you start saying any of those things, you need to first make mention of their ranking. Then after their ranking, you can start talking about the facility they got. So don't forget to make mention of the facility. You can search on the website what are the unique facility they got, like the library, what's the name of their library. You can say, okay, I got to know that University of Bolton got maybe the King's Library. And the King's Library is such a mighty one that can take up to like 5,000 people at the same time with over 10 million books. So I've never studied in such kind of a library before. I can't just wait to have an opportunity to visit such kind of a library and have opportunity to read a million books at the same time. So that's massive. You can talk about some of the maybe sporting activities if you like sport. You can talk about the location if you are very peculiar about the fact that you love environment that is well conducive for international students. So don't forget to mention those. Don't forget to mention those facts so that you will be able to win. I mean, you'll be able to get the full mark that you are supposed to get for this very question. Why our school? You can also talk, maybe if you have searched for different schools and you couldn't get that same course, if they are the only one that's offering that exact course you want to study, you can tell them that you've searched a lot of schools, and of course, you couldn't find this very course until you go to their university website. You also need to tell them about if their tuition fee is competitive. What I mean competitive, cheaper than others. Yeah, you can tell them. Like, yeah, I've checked, I got the same course, the same duration at so university. Yours is £14,500 with a deposit of 4,000. While the other school that got the same courses, the tuition fee is £19,000 and the deposit is £5,000. So if you talk to them about it, so they know that this guy has made comparison a lot. So when they're asking why they choose our school, you need to tell them, you need to discuss one or two schools that you have checked their website. Either they did not have the course, or when they got it, the module is not the same with what they have on their website, or the tuition fee is too high. But in asking, why do you choose me? You need to talk about their ranking, talk about their facilities, talk about the knowledge you are going to gain, talk about why you chose them instead of another school. And you need to mention at least 2 or 3 other schools that you might have considered, but they don't get what this guy gets. Because okay, I also would have loved to check University of St. Mary University, but I just got to know that they have the same course, but apart from their tuition fee, the duration of the course is 2 years, which is too long for me. And secondly, they do not have the facilities to teach this course like you got in University of Bolton. Please, if you can hear me, just say hi, everybody, if you are in the studio.
Hi. I
Oh,
can
all
hear
right, thank
you.
you very much.
Hi.
All right, thank you.
Hi.
All right, thank you, Bradley. Thank you. So, in choosing something, it's just like maybe you have option of. It's not like maybe you're in a party now and they say, okay, there is rice, there is amala, there is pounded yam, these and varieties, and it's okay, give me pounded yam. You've chosen pounded yam. It is not left for you to now explain why you are not going for rice, why you are not going for plantain, and why you are not going for any other meal that might be available. You need to you might not even give justification for why you don't need all of them, but maybe 1 or 2. That's why it's different. You know, in that case, in that scenario I gave now, you just need to just say, give me amala, and it ends there. But in this case, it doesn't end there. You need to tell us now why you are not considering those one, so that they can be sure that, yeah, surely you really chose us, not that someone has made that choice for you. After you've told them, okay, I like pounded yam is very nice. I like the fact that, yes, you've explained why you chose pounded yam. It's fine. So why didn't you choose amala? Like Yoruba's food. And secondly, I don't like how it tastes. I don't like this. I tried it before. It's not nice. All those things. So you need to just say 1 or 2 things about it. Not that you're ignoring all those one completely without saying anything. That's why they are not your choice. You still need to make mention of them. So when we go to the UK, why UK? You talk about why you like UK, and at the same time you talk about why you do not go to Canada, US, Australia, country. So that is the most technical part of answering questions. We've seen some people before why they answered all these questions brilliantly, like she has answered now. But even though our own, she omitted the ranking of the university, and she also omitted condemning other schools, which is very important. Those 2 things you must include them. So you need to start finding out now which school you want to say less while you are talking to them, because they want to be high. So that is that about why do you choose our school. So another thing that is very important, because you're going for a research course, is what is your research topic. You that you're applying for a PhD program or an MRES or an MPhil program, you might have submitted a research proposal. So if your course does not require a research proposal, but then you have been scheduled for an interview, you need to talk to your consultant who have done this application for you and talk to them about it. So they will tell you, you don't need a research proposal. But if you, in most cases, you need a research proposal, they submitted a research proposal together with your application. Majority of you have sent in a research proposal. Whether you wrote it yourself, whether you engage someone to write it, this time around, you got no option. You have to defend it yourself. And in defending it, there are some strategic questions. They're not going to ask you everything in that paper. So, but there's some questions they're going to ask you that will review whether you are the one that wrote it, whether you understand what is in it or not. So that is why you need to go through your research work, know your research topic. If they ask you what is your research topic, the impact of fuel subsidy on the rising cost of living in Nigeria. Simple. So they're asking that now. So they want to know if you know your research topic. Unfortunately, some people who themselves have sent us a research. Excuse me, please. Someone is sending me a message that wants to join us. Say she can't hear me. she needs to, you need to allow your your laptop or phone to access your to access the app. You can click on allow. So sorry. So your research topic, you must know it offhand. Then from that research topic, they will now start asking you a question. Why do you want to carry out that research? Why do you intend to carry out the research? So it's very simple because some of you have written your research work before. So of course, under your research work, when you open it, the first page, maybe the first may be introduction, but on the second page, of course, you see research objective. So why do you want to carry out that research? Is because of the research objective. So go through the research objective, your research objective very well, so that when they ask you, why do you want to carry out this research? They start telling them your research objective. They may not just bring it and say, what are your research objectives? You say, why do you want to carry out the research? But you know they're asking for your research objective. Your research objective have definitely made mention of what you are going to gain by going through that research, what you want to find out. Maybe everything is spelled out, except you do not have a good research. But if you have a good research work, research proposal, of course, that is there. So I'm just telling you now that you should know your research objective. You should know what your hypotheses are. What are the hypotheses you want to test by undergoing that research? So you should be able to know that too. And at the same time, the most important question they're going to ask you is, what is the source of your data, your primary data? Where are you going to get that? Maybe now you're talking about, okay, the impact of a first subsidy removal on high cost of living in Lagos. You are going to the UK to study that program. Of course, how do you want to get your primary data when you get to starting your research work? How do you intend to get? Will you be traveling from the UK every time to Lagos to talk to people on the street? Or how do you want to collect your data? How do you want to collect your primary data? What is the source? You tell them the source, and you tell them, how do you intend to collect it? How do you intend to get those data? And after telling them how you intend to get it, and they will ask you, after getting the data, how do you intend to analyze the data? What is the statistical tools you want to use to analyze that data to find out? So everything is contained in your research work. There's no way you're going to write a research proposal that doesn't have instrument for collecting data, or that doesn't have instrument for analyzing data. So you need to just check them. If you go through it very well, by the time they ask you that question, you just tell them, start telling them, yes, by the time I'm ready to start collecting data, maybe I will have to come to Nigeria to visit some centers. Of course, you are not visiting the street, you know where to go to. So you need to be very sure of who are your targets for your primary data, how do you intend to collect the data, and at the same time, how do you intend to analyze it when you got it, so that you can come to a conclusive part of your research eventually. So they don't want a situation where you will be given admission, and when the time comes for you to go and get the data for your primary research, you don't even know where you can get your primary data. You don't know how to get it. So that is why right now they want to know, how do you want to get your primary data? What is the source of the primary data? Of course, you know that your secondary data is something you review from journal, from textbooks, maybe on Google. You can get your secondary data sorted out from there. But when it comes to your primary data, it has to be particularly about you, and you need to get it from the source. So, because you are trying to fill a gap. And so, very important. And they ask you, why do you choose UK? Why do you choose to study in the UK? So that coming to the United Kingdom to study. Why do you choose United Kingdom? Why don't you choose Canada? Why don't you choose the United States or some other location like Australia where they are speaking English? So can someone attend why UK? I think I'm done with the research objective, hypothesis, primary data source, instrument for data analysis, and the rest. You need to check all that from your research proposal. They are all there. If your research proposal is rich enough, they must be there. It's a must. And now I want to know, why do you choose to study in the UK? And I also want to
You've not
attend that.
you've not talked about those who didn't submit research proposal or the program that does not require SAR proposal.
Okay. So if your program does not require research proposal, they will not ask you for what is your research topic, what is your research objective, and all these questions I mentioned, data analysis or data collections. They will not ask you because they know that your research does not require, I mean, your program does not require to undergo your research. So what they will ask you is, what are your course modules? What are your course modules? So your course modules is what they will ask you for. And if you check your university website, you should know, for someone who is going to spend about 30 million or 40 million naira for a master program in a particular university, so it is highly expected that the university website and you know your course page. On your course page, check on your course page, you will see your course modules. If you type on Google now, let me say Bangor University, and you type in international business management on Google. Bangor University International Business Management. It will bring the page. You click on it, then you see Masters in International Business Management. Then you see the course modules. They write what you are going to learn. So those are the course modules. So they explain it. If you click on it, it will tell you, okay, you are going to learn financing and international business, maybe as a course module. Financing and international business as a course module. And when you click on financing international business, when you click on it, then it will be like the right details. By undergoing this course, you will learn how to finance an international business from wherever you are, and it will give you the strategy and the whatever skills that is required to do this. So the course modules, each of the course modules, applicable, and you can answer the full details of, if you study the course, this is what you will learn. So they will ask you, instead of asking you about research, they ask you, what are your course modules? If your course is not the type that they will ask you for your research, then it's going to be, what are your course modules? And I've just told you where you are going to get your course modules now. Mr. Michael, I hope that answers your question, sir.
No, you didn't answer me. When you were
Okay.
starting, you said some courses require submission of research proposal, while some others does not. So you only spoke about those who require course submission of a research proposal. You've not talked about courses who there was no submission of research proposal, but it's still MS research. So that's the point I'm trying to raise. The program I'm going for is an MS research program, but it does not require submission of research proposal. So in this case, what would they ask me? What's my proposed topic, or what are they going to ask me? Because I didn't submit a research
Okay, now
proposal.
I get. So if it's an MRES if it's an MRES program, too, but it does not require you to submit a research proposal while you were doing the application, but it's still an MRES program or an MPHIL program, but the school have chosen to waive it out. So you need to, since you know you're going for an MRES program, you have a research topic in mind or written down, even if you've just sent it to the school, and set out objective. It means normally, like every other person have done, you need to have identified your research topic, because you have intention of going to that school to undergo an MS program, you know it's a research work. And what is the research you want to go and do there? You need to have identified your topic, identify the objective of the study of studying that of that research work, know how you are going to collect your data too, and know how you intend to analyze the data. So that is very, very important. You need to do that, even though you did not submit that to the school. But for the fact that it's an MRES program, that is what they want to find out, and you still need to do it. You need to do it. So whatever course you have applied to, you need to have identified in your own mind and in written the topic, research topic that you propose when you go to the school. So they are only making the application process more easier for you by not requesting for the topic. But I'm not requesting for a research proposal. But you must know that if I'm giving this course and I go to the school, I will propose a particular topic. So what is the topic? And why do you want to propose it? And what tools do you want to use to collect your data? Where are your data going to be sourced from? And at the same time, what are the tools you want to use to analyze the data? If peradventure you got it. Mr. Michael, do you understand me now, sir?
Yes. Yes, thank you.
So it's more or less like the reason why they were not asking you for a research proposal is to make the admission process more easier, because they know some students may delay when it comes to talking about proposal, talking about this, and that is why they just want to submit your application without a proposal. But that does not mean that they want you to forget about having a topic in mind that you're going to propose if at the end of the day you got admission. So if you are watching us and you are unable to join the studio, you can please drop your question if you have any relevant question to ask. And you can also contribute to this if you have anything to add to our discussion today. We have been talking about interview question and answers for an MRES PhD or an MPhil program for someone who wants to study in many universities in the UK. So another thing is, why do you want to study in the UK? That is very important, because they want
Hello,
to know
sir,
why have you
please.
made UK your university of choice. And is there
Hello,
anybody
sir.
among those who are in the studio with
Please, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Please, I want to be cleared concerning the last topic you just spoke about. This your primary data, whatever, please. What is it from our former project work we are getting all this? Or the program we are
No.
going for? This question of how do you get your primary data? I don't get it, please. Is it from our former research or the new research we are going for?
All right, let me make it easy, ma.
Okay, sir.
Whatever research you've carried out before, whether in your undergraduate or your master program, forget about them for now.
All right.
Now, we are going for a new course. And in that new course, it happens to be a research-based course, meaning that we'll be doing research. And in the research, before they will take you, because of the competitive nature of that course, before you come on board, they now ask you, which topic are you intending to come and research with us? Then you tell them that I want to come to the UK to study and research on the impact of fuel subsidy removal on high cost of living in Nigeria. Now, that's a nice researchable topic, because of course, recently, like a year ago, there was fuel subsidy removal. And within a year to this time, there has been a tremendous increment in cost of living of Nigeria.
Yes.
And we now want to know what causes, does this fuel subsidy removal have any impact on the cost of living? Or is it that generally everything is just increasing and it doesn't have anything to do with fuel subsidy removal? Is it that maybe there is no money in the country again? Maybe people are not lazy. Maybe there are a lot of lazy youths now in the country that people are not ready to farm. And that is why tomato is now 1 million in the market, because people are no longer farming. It might not be because of the fuel subsidy that made tomato to be expensive. It could be that We don't even have farmers who are farming anymore. It could be like the transportation that people who are farming in the remote area couldn't get transportation to even take it to the city. So all of this is a very nice researchable topic. And now, the person who is going to give you admission and ask, yes, we know you have a researchable topic, but the data is, what we mean by data is, primary data is, most of the information you will use to sorry for the network disruption. So can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yes.
Can you hear me,
I
please?
can hear you.
All right,
Yes.
sir. Thank you. So meaning
Yes.
that, okay, most of the information you will use in concluding your research to conclude that yes, first subsidy has led to increment in tomato, increment in whatever, and that has translated to high cost of living. There's some information you will need and analyze, then interpret it to give us that signal. And that will be, it means that probably you will need to come down to Nigeria and be stopping people on the street to ask them that question. What do you think? Maybe you need to now go and meet farmers who farm tomato directly in a farm and ask them, please, I want to know, in the past, if you have a trailer full of tomato that you want to take to Lagos from Zamfara, how much do you use to transport it to Lagos? And they will tell you, I used to transport it 100,000 at Lagos. That was 2023. And now how much do you transport? They say, we transport now 500,000. So that has given a signal that yes. And you still ask further question like, okay, that time you used to transport your tomato to Lagos at 100,000. How much used to sell it when you got to Lagos? They say, we used to sell it 2 million. And now that you're transporting it with 500,000, how much do you sell it? You say we're selling 5 million. So indirectly, you are already saying that there's a kind of correlation between increment in fuel and increment in price of tomato. So that is primary data, the data you are getting from the source that you are asking about your research topic. Because there are the questions you ask people that you will now collate all the questions together. Maybe you have identified 20 farmers, 20 tomato farmers who you want to ask that same question. And you want to see their response. Some will say, no, when I used to, before now, I used to sell my tomato at 2 million and we transport to Lagos at 200,000. But now we are transporting to Lagos 100,000 and I'm selling it at 3 million. It means that first subsidy does not affect them. But you now have to take the response very serious when you check the signal. How many people say it affects? How many people say it does not affect? So that's what we call primary data. The data you are going to use that will determine the outcome of your research. Where do you want to get them from? Do you want to call them on phone while you're in the UK? Do you want to come down to Nigeria to meet them one-on-one? Do you want to give them questionnaire? Do you want to do interview? Or do you want to go to the Ministry of Agriculture for them to give you some materials? Because you can get your primary data from ministries too. You can ask them how many tons of tomato were shipped in the last year and how much was it sold, how much was the transportation. So the school just want to be sure that you know where your primary data will come from. Secondary data is what you get online. You can just Google now, what is the impact of high cost of what is the impact of subsidy removal on high cost of living? You see a lot of journals. You see a lot of journals. When you download them, while you are doing your literature review, you can review all of them. Talk about what some other people who have done your research before, who have done similar research, what they've said about this you are just finding out now. So that is secondary data because you are not the one that did that research. You only check Google to get it out. but the one you want to do. If you are in the maybe medical line, you can say you want to find out the impact of malnutrition on early mortality rates in southern Nigeria. So you need to, in most cases, you need to meet parents who unfortunately have lost their children to malnutrition before. You need to talk to them. How many times do you think you feed your children a day? What kind of food do you give them? How? And at what point do you think they become helpless and give up? So those are the primary data. You are the only one, you are the direct source of that information, not anyone else. You are the direct person. So that is why they call it primary data. And the school want to be sure, where are you getting the primary data from? How do you want to collect the primary data? And even after you have met with 50 farmers and you have met with 50 elders, and now you get this information together with you, how do you want to interpret it? There are different statistical tools you are going to use to analyze and interpret data. So they want to be sure that you know them too. So that's why you now ask you, what are your statistical tools that you want to use to collect, to analyze, and to interpret your results? So you may say you want to collect the information through interview or through questionnaire. That one is sorted. You may now say, okay, how do you want to analyze it? Are you going to put it in a tabular form, all the information you got, or you have another means? And how do you want to interpret? What scale do you want to use? So all those things, they are statistical tools. There's no way you write a research proposal that you will not be able to know all these things. They are something that you should know as a researcher. So if they are strange to you, it means you need to sit down now and find out one or two things about this that I'm just making mention of. I hope that is clear, ma.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
I'm happy to help. So now the last one will be your career. But before your career, we'll talk about why UK. Why do you want to study in the UK? Why are you not considering going to Canada? Can someone tell us why? If there's anybody that can attempt, why do you want to study in the UK? Let's see. Anybody wants to?
Your mic is smooth.
All right, sir. So I was asking, is there anybody that can attempt why do you want to study in the UK in the studio? So if none, so you need to be able to tell them why UK. One of the reasons why you want to go to the UK is because of the recognition of UK university degree. We all understand that you're spending a lot on this program, and they're going to give you a certificate. After the knowledge has been exchanged, then you're going to get a certificate in recognition of completion of that program. Now, you don't want to take that certificate to somewhere like this, and they don't recognize it. You just be like, oh, this university, where is it? Where is it located? They say, you know, say the university is in one island. Or you say the university is in Djibouti. And I say, where is Djibouti? You understand? So by the time those questions are being asked or your certificate, it means they are not saying the university is not good, but they don't know it. It's not highly recognized. But when you have a degree from a university in the UK and you take it to maybe Canada, you take it to Dubai, you take it to Saudi Arabia, or you take it to Australia, or you want to work in the US, and they check and they see University of Lincoln, United Kingdom. So nobody will ask, where is United Kingdom? Or ask you where's Lincolnshire located. So it means the degree is automatically recognized globally. So when you want to talk about why you want to study in the UK, you need to talk about the recognition of their certificate, number one. Nowhere in the world that I will say this degree is not recognized. And recognition means that they already know that for you to have earned this certificate, you've gone through a lot. You've done you've fulfilled the academic requirement to earn it. Why there are some countries that even if you do not attend the class, they might issue you the certificate if you have the money. But this case, for the UK, they know that you wouldn't have gotten that certificate without fulfilling the academic program. That is recognition. So talk about the recognition. Yeah, for the fact that UK university is highly recognized, globally recognized. I have intention of being maybe a researcher with UNICEF, maybe with World Health Organization, maybe with something with UN. And of course, I know this certificate will help me because it is globally recognized. So UK, of course, undoubtedly have undoubtedly recognized for standard education, delivery of standard education, quality and standard education. So you need to talk about that. Like the fact that the lecturer are high professional, the course models are up to date, the lecturing facilities, the learning facilities is top notch and modern, the environment. So you need to talk about that too. You need to talk about why you chose them. Because there's some universities that they are still teaching course modules that are already expired, they're already outdated, sorry, for like 10 years now. And that's what they're still teaching computer science. They're not even relevant again. But UK course modules are top notch, they are recent, they are updated frequently. So that could be one of the reasons why you want to study in the UK. Because I don't want to go to a country where what they thought is even not going to be, it's not even useful again this year. How much more in the next 2 years or 3 years? So because their course module is up to date, everything is intact, and that is the major reason why you want to come to the UK. You can talk about the friendliness in the environment. You can talk about the fact that the admission is very, very straightforward and it's easy to get. You can talk about the fact that UK is very close to Nigeria. As a researcher who is going to research and we need some information back home, so you don't want to go far because sometimes it will require you to come down to Nigeria to extract this information. And coming to the UK to study is more. I mean, going back to Nigeria to do research may just requires you to travel for like 5 hours, while if you go to the US or Canada, could be up to 18 hours. So you can talk about the distance because you are a researcher and you need one or two things in the ministry or even from people on the streets directly. And coming home will be much more easier for you than going far away. So you need to talk about if the tuition fee is competitive compared to Canada, you can say, okay, an average cost. I want to come to the UK because I have gone through so many university websites in Canada and I discovered that for this program, it costs about 40,000 Canadian dollar, while I can get it in the UK for like 16,000. So you need to give them the reason why you do not choose the Canada. You can tell them the difficulties in getting admission in Canada to be very tough. They could ask for official transcript. They could ask you to go and write IELTS or GRE. They can ask you to provide. They can ask you to provide transcript evaluated from their institute or something. But UK does not ask you to do all those things, and that is why you choose that. So that is UK for you. So that's why you're choosing UK. If you tap online, you will see a lot of reasons why you want to study in the UK. And lastly, it is about your career. So what is your career? No, before I say lastly, finance. So how much is your study? How much is your cost? They want to know. How much is the deposit? They want to know. How much is the balance and how do you intend to pay the balance? In how many installments? You need to know that. And you need to know your cost of living. Cost of living for London for 1 year. That 1 year is approximated 9 months to 1 year because they know if you are going for a 1 year course, it means you'll be having an active study time for 9 months. The remaining 3 months will be break, semester break, some short holiday, and the rest. So that is why the POF is meant for the cost of living is for 9 months. So that 9 months for London is 12,006. for London, 12,006. That's what you will have spent in 9 months. It's just 1 year program. 12,006. So if your school is 9,207, 9,207, that is the pounds that you will need for your feeding, for transportation to class, for accommodation, maybe for 1 or 2 sneakers and joggers that you might need during your study. So that is your cost of living, cost of running your day. That money will be in your account for a period of 28 days before you apply for your CAS and before you apply for your visa. So that showing or displaying accurate knowledge about all those things makes them to believe that you have actually carried out research and you are very sure of what you want to do by knowing how much. If you are a self sponsor, by confirming to them that you really want to be sponsoring yourself, and if your parent or your friends or your couple or your partner is sponsoring, then you need to tell them too that you are this, tell them how much you have paid from your school fees and how much the balance is, and when you are going to, how you will be paying them on installment, your intention on how to pay the balance. Then tell them about your maintenance fee, how much you pay for accommodation, maybe out of your money. Accommodation could cost you like maybe 500 to 600 pounds outside London every month from that money. 500 to 600 pounds every month. Then if it is London, it could cost you up to maybe 700 to even to 1,000, depending on the kind of apartment you want to get in London. So you need to know, you need to plan them, you need to find out, do research online, how much is an apartment rented, a student apartment or a shared apartment rented in the environment you are going to study. So that when they ask you about how much do you think you can get an apartment in that environment, then you can be able to tell them. If you check on one of the yardstick is to check the university website and see they have hostels, then you see how much the hostel costs. So from there you cannot make interest. In the worst case scenario, you can know how much the school rented out their hostel per week, because it's per week for the hostel. And some hostel are also per month. So when you see that, you can make your statistic. You can tell them your budget, how much you intend to spend on accommodation in the month. So after that, after your finances, then the next thing is your career plan. What do you intend to do after your study? Of course, you understand that there is opportunity for 2 years post-study permit after your graduation. So you might want to say, okay, as soon as I completed my program, I would like to explore the option of 2 years post-study permit to stay in the UK and work and get cognizant work experience, so that when I'm done with that, I go back to my country where I resume back to where I currently work, or maybe I will start a new business, maybe I will seek a new job at social place and start working with them. You need to be able to tell them your career plans. Your career plans are what you need to do first, then next, and next, and next. Okay, when I'm done with this program, I will do only 1 year instead of 2 years post study in the UK, just for me to make necessary connections and at the same time be exposed to some things that I probably might not know before. Then when I'm done with that, after the 1 year, I want to return back to my country and resume back to where I work at NWC Education and get promoted because I've actually earned another degree. Then after that, I will need to move. I want to move to Dangote Refinery as human resource manager because I studied something related to human resources. And it means while working with NWC, I will still continue to apply to different jobs, including Dangote Refinery, Chevron, Total, Mobile, and all the rest. And eventually, I believe in the next 1 year or less, I will get a placement because they recognize UK certificate and they know I have competence experience from the UK too. And I'm back to Nigeria. I've been working. So I believe I'll be able to secure a good placement at Dangote Refinery or any of the refineries as human resource manager. So that is a plan. You told them how you are going to do it right from the day you graduated from the UK. First thing is to go to do post study, whether 1 year or 2 years. After the post study, you return back to Nigeria. If you're not returning back to Nigeria, maybe to go to Canada or to go to USA or to go to anything. But you need to just have a tangible plan for yourself, because they will not give you admission if it shows that you don't even know what is next after your program. So that is it. I believe we had a very nice discussion today, and it's been
Yeah.
an hour 30, an hour 15 minutes into our discussion. And what we have been discussing is interview, having an interaction about interview questions for students who want to go for PhD, MRES, or an MPhil program in the UK. So in case you're watching us online, thanks so much for joining us today. Please, for all of us that are watching online, kindly click the share button so this can go and reach out to people who might need this. So kindly share. And at the same time, if you got any question, you can drop comment and ask a question. Like Mr. Is it Mr. or Mrs.? Let me just say Mrs. Lillian. Say, good afternoon, sir. Please, can you give me a sample and a practical presentation on the topic instead of direct of a topic? Instead, I think, can you give me a sample and a practical presentation on a topic? Can you give me an example? So if that is the case, you can chat me up on WhatsApp. You can see my number on the screen. So I can give you a sample of a research proposal and of course the one I've made, they've made a presentation. But you are not going to present anyway. But yeah, you're not going to present. You're not going to do any presentation like this is not a physical defense. If you were to be a physical defense, that's when you are going to be given a laptop and listen to present your to make a presentation of your proposal. But in this case, you are just going to be seated in front of your laptop like this and talk. So no presentation. But you can chat me up, then I will give you samples. You can see my number is 30 44 7894 on the screen. So for those in the studio, if you have any further question, if you have any question, please. We got less than 3 minutes to end this meeting. Thanks so much, Miss. Is it Mr. or Mrs.? This is Ifiani. Thank you for joining us today. So, in the presence of any further question, for your interview, it's going to be online on the screen. Ensure that nobody is around you. Ensure that no distraction. Ensure that nobody's going to call you while you are on the interview. Make sure that the room or the office or anywhere you are, that nobody is coming in and out. No kids are making noise. And ensure that you do not write out the script on the paper and you are reading out to them, because when you start reading, they will get to know. Just I've been discussing with you since, you can be sure that I am not reading from the paper. And that's why I want you to just have to prepare properly and at the same time be able to pass your interview. So in case you cannot hear them, you are free to tell them, yeah, I can't hear you, because in case some of you might find it difficult hearing what they are saying, you need to just be specific and say, yeah, I can't hear you. But you need to maintain an eye contact with your lens so that you can communicate with them directly. So thanks so much, everybody that have joined us today. Thank you, and I wish you all the best in your interview. Have a lovely day and see you again.
Hello, sir. Please, I drop a message on the chat box.
Okay. Okay, Bolanle. Does pregnancy determine factors for CAS or visa approval? No, it doesn't. So though, I don't know if you have done your TB test, because your TB test will still review whether you're pregnant or not. So if your what is it called? Your TB test does not show that you're pregnant, so you don't need to declare anything. But if it shows that you're pregnant and the school sees it, they might ask you, what are your plans for the baby? If at all, maybe it's very close. But if it is not, it's not going to affect anything. It doesn't affect anything. Thank you very much. And all of you have a lovely day.